King, just a quick rundown. These fighters are all here. Cowboy's not here. Not here. So we have to worry about these five.
Well, we got rid of it all six because the one is outstanding. I'll take it.
Okay, yeah, you got it. You got it.
His presence is well known now than it would have been if he'd have been it.
Yeah.
Because he ain't anymore.
Yeah. That's on him.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you here and welcome to the official press conference. My name is Jeremiah Gallegos, your gracious host and ring announcer for Saturday night's huge celebration and exciting fight card. The legendary promoter and Hall of Famer, Mr. Don King, is proud to bring you the 92nd only in America celebration in honor of his 92nd birthday, as this Saturday, November 4th, from Casino Miami Jai-Alai in beautiful Miami, Florida. We not only celebrate Mr. King and all of his greatness and contributions to the sport, we celebrate the beautiful sport of boxing. This is one huge collective event, as world-famous Mr. Don King is synonymous with boxing, and we are stoked to have you all part of it. The venue doors open Saturday night at 6 p.m. with the event starting at 7 p.m. Tickets are available for the event celebration and can be purchased online at playcasinomiami.com, or you can purchase your tickets at the venue. All the action can be seen on pay-per-view through donking.com, itube247.com, and also on Fight TV. That's FITE.TV. With the best in the business on the panel, on the broadcast panel, we'll have Mark Abrams, a boxing veteran of 22 years. He's called over 600 fights worldwide, owner of 15roundsboxing.com and Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Famer. And also, Christy Martin, women's boxing trailblazer and legend. She donned the cover of Sports Illustrated, a former world champion, and also an international Hall of Famer in the boxing world. Carl King, manager of more than many world champions. He's also managed many world champions than anyone else in the world. Albert Hainsworth, a college All-American at the University of Tennessee, a first-round draft pick, and two-time NFL All-Pro. And also on the panel Saturday night, Bob Alexander, Florida boxing staple, vice president of the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame, and he has also been inducted into the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame. As mentioned, Mr. King is ready to celebrate his 92nd birthday with 2 months of exciting world-class professional boxing, and next month, the return of Boxing Zone Problem Adrian the Problem Broner back in the ring December 2nd as he faces Chris Howard for what's going to be an absolutely entertaining fight that you don't want to miss. Mr. King has lined up several exciting attractions this weekend. with the fight card. These fights are also so good, they're all considered main events. Mr. King will elaborate more on these fights, but to give you a general idea of the 3 title fights we will feature as follows. Headlining our final main event, a world title contest, a 12-round clash for the vacant WBC Cruiserweight Championship of the world. Ranked number 1 in the WBC, currently holds the WBC Silver Cruiserweight title from Yerevan, Armenia, with German heritage. A big round of applause to Noel Mikaelian, who will face the WBC second-ranked in-ring veteran, former 3-time defending WBC Cruiserweight Champion of the world for the People's Democratic Republic of Congo's own Ilunga Jr. Makabu. This fight is going to be one you definitely don't want to miss. The title is up for grabs as one of the fighters is ready to get back on top and the other ready to be reigned world champion. And our second main event, 10 rounds scheduled for the WBA NABA Gold Heavyweight strap, as Dulac, Louisiana's own Jonathan the King Guidry will defend his title against WBC FECARBOX champion from Puerto Rico, undefeated Jesus Tito Escalera. The battle of the bigs is going to be a huge shakeup in the ring here in South Florida. And also in our first title broadcast, 2 juggernauts of boxing will clash it out for a 10-round scrap for the vacant WBA Continental North American Heavyweight title. And I have to mention this, both fighters have the same exact record: 23 bouts, 22 victories, 15 wins by way of knockout, and only 1 blemish. Cassius Chaney versus Trevor the Dream Bryan, Saturday night. For the most part, the bigs will cast a shadow under the lights, but that won't keep our exciting undercard fighters ready to put on a show. Featuring undefeated Devon Williams, Isaiah Raquelme, Alexander Castro, and also Isaiah Hart. It's going to be mayhem in the ring Saturday night, and it's only in America. That being said, I would like to acknowledge a couple of familiar faces that are here with us. You know, when there's a Don King card, the stars will come out. That being said, Mr. King, Mr. Carl King, the son of great Don King, is here with us. Managed over 50 world champions, a multi-time Manager of the Year recipient in the Boxing Hall of Fame. So a big round of applause to Mr. Carl King. Christy Martin, a.k.a. the coal miner's daughter, a legend, a multi-time defending WBC champion, a survivor, and a Boxing Hall of Famer. Let's give Christy a huge round of applause. Lisa Holowine, former outstanding triathlete, multi-time world champion, Boxing Hall of Famer, and is the wife of the lovely Miss Christy Martin, with us as well. Nate Campbell, former unified lightweight champion of the world, also a Hall of Famer, and he'll also be on the broadcast joining Christy. So let's give Nate a huge round of applause. And now, ladies and gentlemen, all this couldn't have happened without one man synonymous with the word boxing. It is my pleasure to introduce, and it is also an honor, truly the greatest promoter in the history of the sport, where he coined the phrase, "Only in America." He has shaped and promoted many of the greatest fights in the history of boxing, like the Thriller in Manila, the Rumble in the Jungle, which marked the 49th anniversary just 2 days ago. He worked with and promoted literally many of the greatest legends to enter the ring, making them famous, world champions, and successful, which eventually became financially well off. These names included Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, Joe Frazier, Iron Mike Tyson, Julio Cesar Chavez, Felix Tito Trinidad, Evander Holyfield, and the list goes on. Please welcome once again the greatest boxing promoter of all time. A standing round of applause when I announce his name. Celebrating his 92nd birthday, International Boxing Hall of Famer, Mr. Don King.
say his name was Mike. Well, first let me say that we are very, very thankful that you are here. And I'm very thankful to be here because we're taking boxing back to the people where it rightfully belongs, in the fans' hearts, and when they say, when is the next one? I'm very thrilled and to be able to present to you a two-month extravaganza on celebration of the 90s, 92. But the fight coming up here Saturday night, that's on the 4th of November, and the fight forthcoming on December the 2nd, Saturday night. So, and they both will be held thanks to the heartfelt generosity of Phil Ruffin. He's the owner, and he and Daniel, they are working together to make that possible for me to have 2 consecutive months of boxing at the great Jai-Alai here in Miami. It is a thrill because everybody is trying to work against us, but everyone that works against us enables us to open up new doors and opportunities for yesterday's nobodies to become tomorrow's somebodies. So what we're going to deal with is we're going to give the platform for them to perform. Their performance will have to be of the ilk of a Christian Martin, because that was the old time in boxing when people were going for fights and going for titles and doing the heartfelt joy of being in the sports. They perform to justify their own existence. And so performance will be on the part of the fighter. The platform will be on the part of Don King and his great, great promotional team. However, boxing seems to have lost its way. It got caught in the wilderness of greed, avarice, corruption. Everything that was supposed to be was left behind. Honesty, integrity, open, what do you say, translucent or translucent, whatever it is, where transparent. That's the one we're looking for. Or transparent to get it to go the way it's supposed to go. So we had to bring all these forces together, even to the traffic and the thing that it was a blocking us from getting here. So I want to apologize for being late, but also I want to be thankful for being great. And so it's got to be something. It's got to be something that we got to deal with here with these cadre of fighters here, and I'm very, very thrilled. And I want everybody to come out, and even some of my friends are saying that we want it to be a sellout. I said, you know how to do that. It ain't hard. It ain't hard, you know what I mean? So I'm looking for a sellout crowd. And if they talk the talk, you got to walk the walk. You know what I mean? You can't play hide and seek with me. You know what I mean? Because I ain't no refrigerator. I can't hold nothing. So I'm really thrilled. So I'm looking forward to a sellout crowd. And the people, the fans, who would be the disciples, to say, this was a great show, this was a great show, so-and-so performed the best, he's my champion. And whichever it is, the people will select the champion by the champion's performance. We got to open the doors, the windows, in the sky, in the oceans, everywhere that any message can be given, it's got to be given. So, but when the performance come in, it's going to be either corner. The best man wins, whichever way it goes, and whatever it may be. So that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with the fights, and everyone who's fighting must fight for themselves and for the people that they want to represent them. And so we're going to be a great thrill here, and it's going to be a great show. And I thank Daniel Liccardi. You know, he's been just great with me, so I'll look out for him because he is looking out for me. And this is what we're going to do. Now, on right now with here, the most outstanding fighter today is a guy named Junior, a guy named Makabu. You know what I mean? Because he ain't here. So it makes him more powerful than anyone because he stands out alone. But he's trying to get there because they tried to make him have trouble with passports at home. You know what I mean? Everybody got envy and jealousy, and they smile in your face when all the time they want to take your place, and that's the backstabber. And so you got to be able to deal with the backstabber. In fact, talking about the backstabber, my dear friend Eddie LeVert won't be able to make it here, but we understand why. They all make maneuvers and whispers in their ears and things to do things. But Eddie assured me that, that we still love each other and we have no problem at all. And I understand what the reason is, and that's all that counts. The rest of it don't count. So, but they could take that and think it's larceny and think that Eddie done did this to me or I done did something to Eddie. You know what I mean? That don't work that way. That larceny don't work with us. You know what I mean? So what I want to say to you is we want a sellout crowd on Saturday night. It's going to be a November and December to remember. And we're going to start it out with this great card that we got here that you know is going to be here, as Mike has just so illustriously, eloquently said, is that we want to tell you that the number one match has been a guy who has been really a great contribution to boxing. He's the mandatory challenger, and he's been gracious enough to lend his mandatory to Junior Makabu on several occasions and waiting for all of these fights to take place while he held the mandatory position. He gave them an opportunity to become champion with the fight that they had ahead of him and with the request of the great WBC, Mauricio Suleiman's president, and my son. And so he's a great, great, great guy. So what we have here now is finally the number one mandatory challenger is going to have an opportunity to become the champion. And so we will watch and we will witness to him taking on Makabu. Makabu had more rumors of not showing up than anybody ever seen. Al Capone couldn't beat him, And so escape, block. You know what I mean? So he's still in the air, but he's going to be here because he wants to take back his title that he lost to Bojack, whoever the hell that Bojack is. From out of nowhere, Bojack came and now became the champion of the world, of what they call now is a new champion, I really could say, because at the Cruiserweight, he gave up the Cruiserweight title to go with the WBC Super Cruiserweight. And the title that the WBC had was that title that a new Cruiserweight, what is it?
Bridgerweight.
What is it?
Bridgerweight.
Middleweight?
Bridger.
Oh, what a help to have a bridge to carry me over the river there, because I'm in trouble there. My man stepped up, and that's what shows that unity, solidarity, and togetherness. You know what I mean? The Bridgerweight. All right, so now, when it was announced, they got a confusion, but now they got the Super Cruiserweight champion, which is one will be able to take care when they be able to fight and here in this great arena. And so I want to introduce you a young man who is really a great contribution to the sport of boxing. The only loss he's ever suffered is to the Dreamer, sitting down there at the right end of this table here. And he dreams, and he became champion of the world and fulfilled his dreams. And then he, unfortunately, gave the title to a guy named Du Bois, that comes out of Europe. So what we have here is an opportunity for all of these fighters to vindicate themselves, readjust, and to defend, but they got to win the approval of the boxing fans, because that's who will make it happen. So we have the judges, we have the people that are in the fight, but the people that watches the fight, the fans that are the recipient of the energy, the dedication, the commitment, the honor, the integrity that goes with the sport in fighting for the greatest titles in the world, world champion. That's what's going to make this show a dynamite, terrific sellout show. So we're looking forward to something that's going to be really great. And while I mentioned being in a leaning toward this young lady, Christy Martin here, that came to me many years ago, and we are taking the boxing back to that type of honor, that type of integrity, that type of do it yourself and don't be crying, pointing your finger at somebody else, you know what I mean, and giving the people what they want. That's another anthem of the OJs that I chose and selected for my own personal Hall of Fame. And then we say money, 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 money. Well, money is used for things that are good, the elevation of man and womankind. But it got lost and derailed into a corruption thing where everybody wants to bribe to corrupt with money rather than to build and elevate with money. So you say money, 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 they'll do anything to get the money. So they lose sight of the world, they lose sight of their fellow friend, they lose sight of what they're really standing out and fighting for. And so we want to demonstrate to everyone, friend and foe alike, that boxing is the only sport in the world where you will pummel and beat each other up, almost try to take you out other than killing you. And unfortunately, sometimes that happens too. But then after the bell ring, if you're still standing around or laying around, they go out and hug each other and embrace each other. No other sport does that. The rest of them, they go about their business. You was this and that and other. Blame whatever they want to blame, but don't blame nobody at all. Just be very sullen and brokenhearted. But boxing is a sport where you fight with all your heart, your soul, your mind, and then when the bell rings, you go grab the person that you were beating and that the judges give the decision to, or to you, and you go to him and hug and kiss him, you know what I mean, and wish him well on his next fight. So I'm just elated to be able to say that what this is going to be a thrill of a card. So every obstacle I'm bringing up and speaking as long as I can, as eloquent as I can, to demonstrate that the justice of the boxing show that we're going to do on Saturday night is going to be super sensational. And so I'm calling on all my friends that happen to be blessed with exorbitant sums of money, and they say they feel so concerned about those who are the downtrodden, the underprivileged, and denied. And they say, it's just a shame that we can't get people to understand what boxing really means to the downtrodden. I say, well, you can help to keep boxing and bring it back home. How can we do that? I say, buy the tickets and give them to charities and give them to people that would fill that arena, but not with conversation, with money. You know what I mean? So that they can continue to do things and work with better ideas and things, the way we can make things happen like it wouldn't happen before. So when I relate to her, she's sitting there looking as beautiful as she can. I want to relate with identification and relation to demonstrate that people, what used to be, can be again if you dedicate yourself and redouble your efforts and push hard, to be a success. And in being a success is welcoming your brother, your sister with a hug and a kiss and say, hey, let's get it on. You know what I mean? And when you do that, we got something that we can we can relate to. So for the three, that's why it has no undercard as far as these champions are concerned. They're all equal championship events. So we have Jonathan Guidry. Jonathan Guidry, where are you at? Where are you? Where are you at? Oh, there's old Jonathan. Yes, from Duluth. What they say? Jonathan is from what's that place of Duluth, Louisiana. Well, I really like Louisiana because of my man Lloyd Price. You know what I mean? He would sing about all the struggles down there in Louisiana, and he used to tell me all kinds of stories. And he brought music and entertainment into its infancy, in Louisiana. You know what I mean? So Lloyd Price, he was really something. So I was really very appreciative that he left his spirit with me because he's still going strong. Yes. So it's really wonderful. So now we got Guidry. He lost to the guy sitting next to him, I guess, the Dream. All right, so then he goes back and they put another guy before him with the gold champion, and he literally destroys the man. They had to go have a brain operation and things. I'm sorry about that, and hopefully that the truck or the shock or whatever they call him, will be able to, to recover and be able to deal with what is real. You know what I mean? But what we're going to do is to help him whether he can or cannot. You know what I mean? He's one of our family, and we're going to treat a family member like a family member with love, kindness, and understanding. And so, therefore, Jonathan Guidry now, being the champion that he is, has chosen to fight Jesus Escalera, Viva Puerto Rico. So Puerto Rico is hear my sound because Tito, Trinidad was man for the crowd. It was just really great to be able to have been the promoter of the Puerto Rico and Tito Trinidad and all the way down Escalera. He was also there, which is nephew of the Escalera that's fighting on Saturday night. And so that's going to be a great match. I want Jonathan Guidry to stand up, and I want Escalera to stand up. And this is what you're going to see. These two guys here, I can talk to next year, but they're going to get it on. And so, he also helped me, Guidry, by bringing in people that were hornblowers, that would say they could do anything in the world, but when the time comes, they don't do nothing. All bullshit. So I could have never done that without having a guy that has the intestinal fortitude to call it like it is, and then to face the person that tells them that and tell them they said what it is. And now it all turns out to be an unholy lie. So I appreciate that. So that battle, he's won. But the one with Escalera, from Puerto Rico, he said, not quite. Not till I knock him out. Then he's done. So, boy, I'm in the middle of a frenzy here. Anything can happen in this boxing. Because ain't no rules, ain't no bars, ain't nothing but get in there and fight. And ain't no excuses. No one say this, that, that other. It's you. When that bell rings, it's got to be there to make it happen for you. So this match here will be one of the championship matches here. Thank you, gentlemen. I'm going to let y'all talk in a minute. Get everybody get started so everybody have a time. We're going to make it happen, boy, because it's us. It's we, us, together. United, solidarity, togetherness. And then another title fight will be a title fight that has quite a bit of controversy. And calling it like it is, there's few of us, that'll be the age-old, redundant type of classic boxing fighting skills that is taught to be emulated and imitated by the great trainer Stacy McKinley. All right, now his fighter is the one with the dream, but somebody, I don't know whether it was Mickey Mouse or what's that other one that was running around there that blocked the dream, the atmosphere of the dream in his last fight. But it was really a shocking and amazing situation, whereas Stacy, who also identifies with the old, the good, the transparent, the honest and integrity form of boxing that gets people excited and be able to express themselves in every way known physically in a positive manner. So this thing happened there with Stacy and his dreamer. All right, so now that dream was a champion for quite a while. So now he wanted to regather his title. He wanted to recapture it, I should say. And he wanted to be able to demonstrate to friend and foe alike that what you saw yesterday ain't what it is. And can I prove that? I got to prove that by going in there, by fighting and winning. And not by any other way can I prove that, the conversation and rhetoric don't count. What you do with the fists, the left hooks and the right hands counts immeasurably. And so you're going to be able to see that. Would you rise champion of yesterday to bring back champion of yesterday, Mr. Dreamer, Trevor Bryan. Yes, it's been a long time, Trevor. There he is, y'all. He gave him opportunity in the land of opportunity. And so he's going to take on a new young man that came in. I was fascinated because his name was Chaney, but it was Cassius. Cassius that got me because the man who brought me into the business was Cassius Clay. He was the champion, the all-time great champion, of yesterday. And he fought for the will of the people. And fighting for the will of the people He dedicated himself and put his life on the line. And also, he challenged the system with a 5-year conviction to go to jail for draft dodging. But he stayed and withstood that accusation and that violation of human rights, and went on and challenged the world. Fortunately, justice was found in the Supreme Court of the United States, and they vindicated and overturned the conviction of Cassius Clay, then alias Muhammad Ali, who became a Muslim brother, and working with Elijah Muhammad, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And so I was fascinated when I seen that Cassius. So I said, well, we got to give this guy a chance. I did not know him, never seen him fight, but his record vindicated. Dude, what's that record? Ooh, boy, 22-1 on 15 KOs. I said, he didn't get it out, by just walking and talking. He had to get it by fight, And so we got him on with the Dreamer. So it's a double dream here, and somebody's going to have a nightmare. So, all right, so what I want to do now is introduce Cassius. Come on now, Cassius, get up there, man. Cassius Chaney. And I want to, and his opponent, Trevor Bryan. Come on, Trevor. Let's time so we can see you, Trevor. Okay, now, we don't want no excuses. All we want is a fight that you will remember. Win, lose, or draw, we're going to fight. And that's what it's got to be, and that's the thing it only can be. So I'll be waiting for the winner, whoever he may be, to hug and cheer him, but the loser too. I'm not going to give up on the loser. That's why we call it family. So we're going to have an opportunity here to demonstrate these two men's talent to recapture the imagination of yesterday's performance. And so thank you, gentlemen. I'll call all y'all up and let y'all talk your own talk. I ain't going to talk for you. You're going to talk for yourself, and you're going to fight for yourself. I will fight for you outside the ring and do everything I can to bring out the corruption, if there's any, and to be able to fight for your honor, your integrity, and to be able to get you paid as much as I possibly can get when there ain't no money existing. And so this idea is, this is the way it spells out to be. And so now we have the three champions, 3 championships. And we open the door over because in this fight, if a guy come to me on Friday night and he's got a championship and he wants to put it on the line, I'll leave it to the commission to make the decision, but for me, they can fight. Because what we're doing now is taking back to the people. You know what I mean? Not taking it to out there where you can sell it and not sell it. No, taking it to the people so they can be the judge. And we're going to give them every opportunity and outlet that we can to make it happen. So Makabu will be here. They all told me Makabu wasn't going to come. I never even entertained the thought. I said, man wanted this title as bad as he wanted it and held it as long as he held it. There ain't no way in the world he's going to just, not take the opportunity of a vacant title that the other man gave up and that he honored and held so dearly. So he's going to be here. So we're going to have Makabu and we're going to have Noel. And that's going to be one hell of a fight because Noel is tired of sitting on the sideline being the dramatic #1 contender. I want to be the dramatic world champion. And then I will take on contenders. And so I wish him well, and we will have a great fight there. And so now let these guys come up and speak for themselves. Noel, you can talk and say what you want to say in your mind and in your heart. It may be offensive. It may be conducive and compatible. But whatever it is, let it be you. Don't let it be nobody else. Let it be you. Noel, come on up here, baby. Talk to him.
Well, first of all, thanks for the attendance. Don, thanks for the words. I don't want to be offensive to anyone, but yeah, I'm very well prepared and I've been waiting for this chance a long time and being on the sideline for a long time, and finally this fight is happening. They're fighting for the most prestigious boxing title, the WBC Cruiserweight World title. And yeah, I'm ready, and the title is for the grab. And watch me Saturday. How did you say, Don? Becoming yesterday's nobody, tomorrow's somebody? and becoming world champion finally on Saturday. Tune in on Fight TV, donking.com, buy the tickets, come watch the fight. It will be a great fight, puncher versus boxer. And yeah, I'm very happy that this is happening. Thank you, Don, for putting up a great show, and best promoter in the world. Only in America. Let's go, baby.
Thank you, Noel. You got any questions for Noel? Anybody got any questions for Noel?
Nobody? Yes, sir.
Got a microphone right there.
Get it.
Well, I will not give out any secrets, but I've been watching Makabu a long time. He has been being champion for like 3 years, and I wanted to fight him for a long time. He was kind of avoiding me, but he's a strong southpaw, and I will adapt in the ring. I'm like, I can adapt to any style, and I didn't focus on anything like specifically. I have good footwork, I'm fast, I have good power, and I think my ring IQ will make the decision in this fight. Well, yeah, I was just relating to Don's word. I like the phrase, that's why.
Do you feel disrespected because Makabu's not here to face you today?
Actually, I don't care. Most important is if he's Saturday in the ring. If not, I'll be very disappointed.
Great answer.
That's it? No, thank you.
Yeah, I will answer for one. I ain't gonna get myself in the middle of this. But Makabu said a breaking news called to me, and he said, I'm gonna be there. That's all. I'm gonna be there. And so you know how they talk in South Africa, and so we got a immovable force, against a force that's supposed to be mastered for all kind, all where, to friend and foe alike. And that's the spirit that Noel was come with. But I'll be there as Makabu. So till he gets there, that will be the thing that's there. Because we don't want nothing to happen to the plane. We don't want nothing to happen to nobody. We want to first get him on the land, get him into this great casino here, and like he said, get him in the ring. And then he can do his talking, and we can see how we're going to come out with this great Cruiserweight championship. Okay, next we want to get the guy here that just is beyond imagination. He introduced me to people that I never would have got the opportunity to meet, but in introducing me, he also introduced me to what larceny is at its first and foremost action. And he brought the larceny out that no one else could have done. But then he proved that by beating a truck or whoever he is to a pelt. That was a tremendous heavyweight fight. And now he's taking on, oh boy, he just gets me excited. I get to trembling, Jonathan. The nervous frustration of success going back to the people where it rightfully belongs, So he's taking on Jesus Escalera, who is Viva Puerto Rico. He's my Puerto Rican star there, so I love it. So what we're going to do is, Jonathan, come on up and represent your title and what you're going to do. And say what you want, Jonathan, because that's one thing about you don't pull no punches. You brought them guys in and you call them out, you know what I mean? And so I don't hear from them no more. Jonathan Guidry, y'all.
How's it going, y'all? I'm just really honored to be on the show with Don. That's legendary. I always ain't got much to say. We prepared for this fight. I want to thank my opponent for taking the fight. I think we should have the best fight of the night, and sparks gonna fly. Just appreciate Don again. Thank you, Don.
Yes, I hear you, Jonathan. So now, wait, y'all got any questions? Come on, Jonathan, get any questions for Jonathan Guidry.
Hey, Jonathan, I want to know if you're ready to show them how we do it in Louisiana at that crawfish boil.
Oh yeah, I hope they're ready.
Cook them real good.
You might get your head something. You might get the right. You gonna get the head something when I crawfish. Oh, I know about that.
Extra spicy.
But Don't let that on.
Okay, all right, we're going to have the answer to that. And coming from my hometown, Puerto Rico. Viva Puerto Rico! Viva Puerto Rico! All right, so here we go, Escalera. Here's your time to take it. You can say what you want to, and you're going to be the victory of what you say. I don't know what's going to happen in the ring, but you can talk now. Anybody going to hit you?
No problem.
All right, go to it, Escalera.
Thank you very much for Don King, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and Team Guidry for taking this opportunity to give me this shot. A lot of other fighters turned me down, and he didn't. He is a true champion. I had the privilege to see him in person twice, and I'm a huge fan of him and his town and what he believes in. And for me to be fighting on the same card and now with him or against him is a complete honor. For me, this is more of historic. My uncle fought in that venue in 1983. That was 40 years ago. And so for the same promoter, Don King. And for me to be fighting 40 years later in the same ring, in the same venue as my uncle did, is an honor. And an honor that I represent for my country. My last name is Escalera, and the fighting spirit of Puerto Rico. And I am going to put a hell of a performance. I do believe we are going to have the fight of the night. And only because he's going to be able to answer questions that a lot of people have about me. About my record, can I go 10 rounds? Can I perform in this level? And the person that's going to answer that is him, because he's the champion. I'm just the challenger. And so I want to tell him, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Win, lose, or draw, I'm a huge fan of his. Don King, thank you for the opportunity. I will not disappoint. And thank you very much. Any questions?
In your heart, brother, how do you see the fight going on Saturday night?
It depends. His IQ in boxing is really, really high. I think in an interview he said that his game plan is to outbox me and take me out to the later rounds and drown me. And that's a hell of a game plan. You know what I'm saying? I haven't gone past 4 rounds for a reason, because I don't want to go deep. You know what I'm saying? So if he comes forward, within the first 30 seconds, we're going to see who has what. If he tries to outbox me, then I have to chase him, because he's a hell of a boxer, a counter puncher, and real skilled. But this is the heavyweight division. It only takes 1 punch. And I already beat 2 former world champions. So, but for me to test myself, I had to go with somebody like him that's a champion, and he's a fighting champion. A lot of, like I said, other people turned me down for a reason, but he didn't. So I honor him, I respect him. Looking forward to even becoming friends and sparring partners down the road. But what he's doing is the definition of reason why I'm boxing, because he's a true champion and I'm a champion. And to keep the sport alive, what Don King's been doing for well over 60 years, is putting competitive fights that people that have or want the opportunity, and he gives us the showcase to show it. In the end of the day, I'm a people's champion. I want to fight for the people. Win, lose, or draw, we're going to put a hell of a performance. And that's what I'm here for.
What was your uncle's name, and how much of an influence was he to get you involved in boxing?
My uncle's name is Alfredo Escalera. He defended the WBC title for 10 times under Don King from 1978 to 1981, when he lost to Alfredo. He lost it to Alessio Gray. That's where he lost it to. Both of my cousins fought professionally. Alfredo Escalera Jr., he was 19-4. Jason Escalera also fought. And I'm just a line of Puerto Rican fighters in that gene that we fought. I was fortunate enough to have 104 amateur fights, multiple Golden Gloves. So to me, this is just another step to the right direction. I did not want to become a professional boxer. It just fell in my lap, to be honest with you. There's more frustration, and to try to prove to the fighters that the golden era of boxing is still here. There's so many politics. People want to fight 1 time, 2 times a year. So when you're around champions, and this fellow partner left and right of me, we are the definition of boxing. And like I said, once again, thank you for Don King for giving us all the opportunity to show that Saturday night.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Escalera is letting him know, giving him due credit for what he has to do in the ring and facing it with understanding and wisdom, so he would be able to retaliate in kind or to be offensive in a new, unexpected type of individual that the Escaleras present. So it's a thing here that we have the great show here, right there. Each and every one of them would be qualified to be the headliner of the show and be period. And so we're not going to argue about who, what, where, when, and how. We're just going to let the fans be the judge of who the champion will be, mentally, psychologically, and physically. And so we are going to have one hell of a show on Saturday night. And I'm going to pray for my dear rich friends to be kind enough and gracious enough to make the word sellout viable. You know what I mean? So we are wishing for that day. I got a great crew, you know, John Mocione, he makes sure every detail is done. You know, you got Bonner Carson, and then each and every one that we named that will be there to work with us. And beautiful Tina sitting right there, and coming with the unknown Dale Edwards. You know that now you see him and now you don't. So it's a thing here to have this type of a thrilling, substantiating team to carry out, you know, the message to friend and foe alike that a great show is going to take forth here on the 4th of November, and we're all going to be there to witness the sellout crowd in order to make this thing happen the way it should happen. But it's just the beginning, because we are taking boxing back to the people where it rightfully belongs, in the hands of the people, not in the hands of the corruptors and the ones that can, you know, reach in and take everything and don't give back nothing. So it's been a great, great press conference as far as I'm concerned. And the message goes to all the friends, and that all the fighters spoke, that they all get their questions answered, you know, and so everybody can be happy. At least they waited, but they got what they needed to have. Anybody need anything else? Got to? Oh, God, that's a hell of a thing, John. I'm so happy you did that, because this may be the last time they'll be able to speak. Well, then they kind of fire about it. You know what I mean? They can come and tell a lie, but that ain't going to work. The performance will be to happen. Forgive me, Father, I know not what I'm doing. So let's get up on Trevor. Let's get the dreamer, the big dreamer. Come on up here, big dreamer, and please have mercy on me. Trevor the Dream, Trevor the Dream.
Thanks, Don King. Hello, everybody. I'm Trevor Bryan, the Dream, former WBA heavyweight champion. I'm just happy to be back on the stage, the big stage with Don King and Fiat. Again, it's going to be a great show. A lot of great fighters up here right now. We're going to show you guys a great time Saturday night. Everybody right now is claiming the best fight. I feel like me and Cassius Cheney have a lot to prove to ourselves, to the boxing world. So I think we're going to definitely have the best fight of the night. Again, I'd like to thank Cassius Cheney team to taking this fight. And like I said, me being a former heavyweight champion, I have a lot to still prove. Nothing against Cassius Chaney, but I still feel that I'm a heavyweight champion in the world, and I just have to redeem myself. And this is a great fight right here to showcase my talent against the world, to say that I need another shot. So again, like I said, I'd like to thank everybody here on the stage. I'd like to thank all the other fighters that's here, Cassius Chaney crew as well, Don King promotion, Fiat that's going to show the fight, and to all the fans as well that's going to come here and watch us participate and work hard. And we do a lot to get here. So this is what you guys see at the end of the stage is not what we do. We go through a lot. So also like to bring up my head coach, Stacey McKinley. He'll also explain a little bit what we went through and why we're here today. Stacey?
Stacey McKinney now, he's from the old school too. He understands, he's taking it back home.
How you doing? Yeah, you know Trevor Bryan's a good boxer, big guy, 6'4", 6'5", 245, 46 pounds. Chaney is a good boxer, I know him. Both of these guys got good boxing skills, so you're not going to be looking at a slugger against a boxer or a fighter against a boxer. Both kids can box. They got good speed, they got good jabs, good right hands, and they're very smart fighters. So we're glad that Don King brought us back to try to get us back to our title. And I'm looking for a good fight. It's going to be a good heavyweight fight. And you all know we just saw a good heavyweight fight this past weekend with Fury. So we're going to put another good heavyweight fight. So come on out and check us out.
All right, okay. Now, who's the respondent to that? A guy named Cassius Chaney. Come on up here, Cassius. Lay it on him, baby. Lay it on him. Yesterday nobody, tomorrow somebody. Yeah, lay it on him. Yeah, they try to keep him from fighting too. They come up with a demand for him, you know, to block all this stuff. It's horrible how these people are.
I'm like excited and mad at the same time. You know, I want to say thank God for just allowing me to be in this position and all the fighters and everybody here. Don for allowing me to be on this card and you know, perform. You know, I'm looking forward to it. DKP, the whole entire staff for, you know, helping me get with Don, who's arguably, you know, the greatest promoter ever. You know, I'm looking forward to this. Trevor's team for accepting the fight. You know, it was, I thought I was going to fight in July, and then, you know, but we just been training and just staying positive about it. And finally, the date is here. So, you know, my team, we've been patient, just chipping away at it, not going crazy, but, you know, working hard and staying consistent, you know. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm happy. I'm in a good space, and I'm just looking forward to Saturday and just having fun and putting on the show. So again, I just want to thank everybody for coming out, of course, Don, and everybody for coming to check out all these fighters up here. Thank you.
Question for Chaney.
No questions.
Okay, I see the great photographer, David has showed up on the scene. So let's do a one-off with each one of these guys and get David something to put out there on the news. Okay, since you up already, Cassius, you and your guy that's going to fight each other. You know. let's get a photograph on it to get them all together with two faces. Let's get them up there. Coming up with one. Yeah. Let's get them all there. Get them a two-shot thing now. Okay, get them up. Come on over here. Here you go. Okay, I'll get in the middle. Just this time.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, WBA Continental North American Heavyweight Title, 10 rounds of action. Trevor Bryan, Cassius Chaney, Saturday night. 10 rounds of action for our title attraction.
Now face to face. Thank you. Okay, come on with the next two. Right. Oh, go to face to face.
Have a quick face-off between the two. Only in America, 92 Celebration Boxing Extravaganza. Promoted to you by Mr. Don King, Hall of Famer.
All right.
The WBA NABA Gold Heavyweight Championship, 10 rounds. Jonathan Guidry, Jesus Escalera, representando Puerto Rico. And also, Guidry representing Dulac, Louisiana. Dulac, Louisiana. Ten rounds of action. WBA, NABA Gold Heavyweight Champion, Jonathan Guidry, Jesus Escalera. It's going to be one you don't want to miss. WBC Cruiserweight World Title. Title is vacant. Number 1 ranked in the world, fighting out of Miami, Florida by way of Armenia with German heritage, Noel Mikaelian, as he faces Ilunga Junior Makabu, ranked number 2 in the world. Only in America, 92 Celebration Boxing Extravaganza. And also a big round of applause, the man, the myth, the legend, Boxing Hall of Famer, the greatest promoter ever lived, Don King. And a reminder to all fighters, the conclusion of this press conference, please meet at Key Largo 1 room right behind this poster right here for fighter interviewers. And that'll do it, ladies and gentlemen, for our official press conference. We thank everyone for coming out. Only in America, 92 Celebration Boxing Extravaganza. Don't forget, Saturday night, it is live on DonKing.com. Also, we'll be live on iTunes at 247.com and Fight TV. Get your tickets through PlayCasinoMiami.com. We'll see you then, ladies and gentlemen. And as always, we'll get the mayhem started. See you then.